Hi there and welcome to Planet Zoo. With the launch of the Planet Zoo console edition, we have an influx of new players enjoying the game for the first time. Coinciding with this, there's been a lot of chatter on the Planet Zoo socials about where it all began, since some of us have been playing the PC version since the start. I do remember back then there was so much to learn, and early attempts at zoo design. For many of us, we were absolutely in the same place as new players are now, figuring out how on earth to play. Now, I was one of those people that was playing Planet Zoo right from the start during the beta of the original game. This was a 2-week window, about a month before the game launched officially, where if you pre-ordered, I think it was the deluxe version, you got to join the beta release to get an early look. Now, the beta wasn't the full game, it only had the first tutorial scenario, if I recall correctly, and franchise mode, and it only had the Africa grasslands biome in franchise too. Anyway, it was a fun 2 weeks, I won't deny that, but once the beta ended, a lot had been updated and you couldn't continue playing on the franchise that you'd set up, so everyone had to start fresh with a new one. Or so I thought. Well, earlier today, another creator, Just Goran, happened to mention on socials that you could open that first franchise zoo by saving it as a sandbox zoo. And you know, I'd never even considered that. I'd always assumed my beta zoo was lost forever since it wouldn't open in franchise mode, and I didn't even think to try and save it as a sandbox zoo. So, equipped with this newfound knowledge, I'd say it's about time I took a trip down memory lane and just go and see what my first zoo even looked like. I barely remember what I even got up to in the beta, so this is going to be a big surprise. Okay, here we are. We're in a tunnel, looking at what appears to be an empty habitat inside a little cave structure. Let's head out, see what we're looking at. Oh, I remember this. It's a lion enclosure, and I built this overlook. Yes. African lion is about to inbreed. Well, that sounds about right, doesn't it? I doubt I'd figured out the intricacies of breeding yet. But, as a concept, I don't hate this overlook. If I recall, that was one of the last things I did, so probably should start at the beginning. Wow. I can see some issues from up here, but let us start at the beginning. Right, big courtyard, so I assume I was pretending I understood the pathing system at this point. The standard entrance, yeah, that makes sense. Don't think we even had the option to delete the entrance back then. Okay, what is going on here? Oh dear, this is obviously intentional. I have no idea what it is, or I mean, plants can't bed into rock. Why? Why is this a thing? Oh, we've got symmetry. There's another one exactly the same on the other side. None of this should be here, but okay. And completely theme inappropriate exhibit box. Yep, why not? And no education board. Sure, yeah. Is there even anything in here? Can't see anything. I'm guessing not. It's probably died. That'll be why there's no education board. But sure, European classic theme in African zoo. Yeah, that's fine. At least I put a donation bin down. Impressed I'd figured out the cash generator so early. So, a second entrance here. Paradiso? Is that what I called it? Paradote more like. I kid. It's not that bad, is it? I like the colours. It does fit in with African theme. And I see I've gone for minimalistic planting here. I am a little concerned about the structural integrity of this glass screen. Those pillars definitely shouldn't be supporting all that weight. And classic Z fighting. I know for a fact at this point I didn't realise you had to move the pieces slightly to stop the colours clashing. There's probably a lot of that in this zoo. Looks like I've got some guest amenities at the front. Got a washroom. Oh, and a lovely water feature. It's got the fountain glitching through the stone. Aside from that, I don't hate the amenities. Looks functional. And the design's not so bad. Let's take a look what animals I've got in here. So right through the entrance, and first up we've got Aldabra tortoise. No screening, so I bet they're super stressed. And a beautiful concrete box for them. Tiny side entrance. I bet they can't even squeeze through that. Oh, big colour clashing there. Wonderful. Really going for tortoise concentration camp look. Did I even leave a space for staff to get into the shelter? I did, but that doorway isn't big enough for them to fit through, so nope, they wouldn't be able to get in there. So there might be a bit of waste pile up inside the shelter. Let's see, what else have we got? I've spotted some ostriches. Basic habitat design. Education screen not turned on again. Wonder what my issue was with that. Nice to say I'd figured out one-way barriers, but why have I got that in an ostrich enclosure? They don't need that. Just some very strange choices. And what have we got over here? Oh, it's some zebras. More prison fencing. And that barrier positioning. Oh, that's awful. Don't like that at all. Oh, and a standard water trough, not a pipe. Yeah, I obviously didn't know that you always use the pipe so that you're lessening the work of the keepers. Template shelter. Guess I've given up making my own ones at this point. This is just so sad. I feel bad for the zebras. Anyway, shall we see what's going on down here? Ew, there's so much litter. Oh no. Where are the bins? Do I have no litter bins? I don't think I've got any litter bins in the zoo. Oh, whatever this is. Oh, this is a masterpiece, isn't it? Giant empty habitat, and what unfortunate animal is living here? Nile monitor. Tiny Nile monitor needing about a tenth of the space that I've given it here. So empty. And that barrier, I can't even look at that barrier. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing for me. Oh, it gets worse. What on earth is this? I can't even. What was I thinking? Oh, but spotted. Broken down solar panel. That's just perfect. Fits right in over here. Stupidly high barrier. It's about to fall down. That is so dilapidated. I don't understand this habitat. Why is the barrier so tall? And what's going on with that climbing frame? Why is it 70 feet high? Oh no, what? Why? Oh, I'm glitching. Yay, I have to have the glitching. I don't even remember building this. Gonna deny all plausibility. What? Why? What is going on with the plants? I don't understand. What was I thinking? Why even do this? This whole habitat's a disaster. Someone needs to burn it down. Obviously removing the mandrels first. And what have we got in the corner here? Looks like we've got warthogs. Oh, yeah, some more weird plant situation going on. I seem to really like this one tropical plant. Another frontier template hard shelter. Yeah, I've certainly given up on shelters at this point, I think. For everything that's in here, this enclosure does look awful empty. Not as bad as those few unmentionable ones, but... and more trough water. Would love to just switch them out quickly, but no, we're not doing anything today, we're just looking. That's the back end stuff. Let's venture further back to where we started from. Okay, so decorative feature, and is that smoke coming out the bin? I'm sure I could see smoke. Yes. Oh, no, hang on, wait. It's a cooler sitting half under the planter. Yeah, that makes total sense. And this tree is also way too big for that planter. There's no way that would stay upright even. It wouldn't grow, would it? That's far too small. I can see what I was getting at here. It just doesn't really work. Another small enclosure. What have we got in here? Hey, we've got peafowl. Many peafowl. Guess I wasn't using contraception. And another concrete hard shelter. Probably just copied what I'd done for the tortoises and used that again. It's really basic, but this is how we all started. We all had to learn at some point. More broken barrier. I really didn't get the management in the game. Probably only got that one mechanic in the whole zoo. Poor guy. What's this structure? Oh yes, I remember this. Talking point before education talks were even a thing. And of course there's guests glitching on what is probably a horrendous pathing system underneath all this. I was ahead of my time with this for sure, thinking about how guests would probably like to hear talks about lions. I remember I spent ages on this habitat and all the stuff around it. Not sure why I've got 3 feeding trays. Did I think each lion needed their own tray? Just one of those big ones would do once you've got some of the enrichment feeders in as well. Some effort with a water feature. At least I was trying at this point. A for effort. Oh, little cubs. Still so cute. This overlook. Now this isn't that bad. This is probably something I would design today. And you can tell I've come up with the concept here. So caving underneath where the lions sleep. I'd say this is quite cosy compared to the prison-like square habitat I started with. Thinking outside the box, so where guests are going to view animals from. And I actually really like this wood structure around the stairs. The rocks, yeah, I needed work on that. Anyway, we'll move on. What's on this corner? So we've got some staff buildings. Nice concrete blocky staff buildings. And these certainly wouldn't have been set up in a work zone. I had no clue how work zones worked at this point. Yeah, more buildings over this side. And this huge fencing. I guess that was my interpretation of blocking the guest view from the staff building, so I probably thought this was going to help with that negative influence sphere. Oh, I do have an extra mechanic, but they are glitched outside of the staff room, so yeah, game was broken. So tempting to get the management screens back up and figure out what's going on there and why they're just stuck in that place, but that's not why we're here today. Right, now we're getting into some odd stuff. I don't know what this is. Obviously, I was playing around with the water physics, maybe? Trying to make an aquarium? Whatever it is, I obviously gave up halfway through, decided it wasn't worth the effort. I bet these are all individually placed logs, and I was like, nope, I am so tired of this. If I recall, around the back of the lion overlook, yes, I did have some stuff back here. Oh, and just spotted floating pillars. Oh, that's a shame. I thought I was doing so well with this overlook thing that, yeah, we can't have floating pillars like that, can we? Beyond this, looks like I was starting something, and floating glass with empty parasols. Again, ahead of my time, this would be perfect for restaurant seating, since you don't need a path for that, not just empty parasols. I like the concept though. Maybe if I even just remove the parasols from here and had it just as a glass plating, that would work. Gotten a bit more detailed with the planting here. Although no soil, I've used arc shapes under there. It's a bit of a strange choice when we have soil plots. Having raised bedding there though, I think it works with the stairs. And what is this delight? Completely different theme, and I'm absolutely loving that floating roof piece there. So realistic, isn't it? And the tree totally merging into the roof. Perfection. To be honest, don't know if this was a template that I've modified. I don't think I'd have been able to build something this intricate on my own. And if I did, I certainly would have remembered. This is more my level of build quality back then. Lots of building merging, and of course the Z fighting there. None of the pieces match on this, which is bothering me more than it should do, I guess. Ah, now see this over here? This is my Planet Zoo claim to fame. I was the first person to figure out that you could fit the bubble glass pieces together to make a dome. Other creators picked up on it, and I was unknown, so didn't really get the credit, which is fine. Whenever I watched a Paulsley video, for example, and he was in the blueprints menu, my bubble dome was there, and that meant a lot to me at the time. I got a lot of satisfaction from knowing people were using stuff that I created. This over here, another early creation. Obviously I had to build it in this franchise mode because we didn't have any other modes that you could build stuff in, so I think I just tagged it onto the franchise mode so I didn't have to get into profit again with a separate blueprint zoo. I think that was my thought process with this. I started off with a franchise zoo and I did do a couple of videos on that, and knowing me, I probably got overwhelmed and decided to work on some blueprints to stick on the Steam Workshop. So that, in a whirlwind tour, was how I started in Planet Zoo. I obviously struggled massively with the management element of the game, and there was some strange choices and a huge learning curve. Hope you've enjoyed the tour as much as I've enjoyed looking back where I started. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.